Hey guys, Explorer4 here, Horrorboy465. Welcome back to some more reviews. And welcome back to some more reviews on the Blade Trilogy. And now I'm getting to the final film in the Blade Trilogy. At least for right now, this is the final film in the franchise as this video is recorded. But that is my review on Blade Trinity. This is the unrated version, the New Line Platinum Series edition. And I'm actually recording this video right after my review on Blade 2. So Blade 2 review is actually uploading right now. So I'm recording this right after I did my review on Blade 2. But Blade Trinity, the 2004 movie, gets a 5.9 on IMDb, directed by David S. Goyer, who sounds familiar. I think I've reviewed another movie he's made. I'm not too sure. He's a writer on the Dark Knight trilogy, also the writer of Man of Steel. Those are really good movies. So he's only directed The Invisible, The Unborn, Zigzag, and Blade Trinity. Those are his only movies he's reviewed, or review. Those are the only movies he's directed. But I did see The Unborn. I thought that was a boring movie. That movie sucked. I hate The Unborn. I thought it was horrible. So I did see another movie that he made. So I didn't really recognize, I thought I reviewed another movie he did, but I didn't review The Unborn yet. But I did see The Unborn. I thought that was horrible. It's awful. But I guess he's more known for being a writer than anything. He's a writer for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Love that game. He's much more of a better writer, honestly. Godzilla, the 2014 movie, just some additional writing. Not a big fan of that movie. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, I heard it was pretty bad. Call of Duty Black Ops 1, awesome. Demonic Toys, Personal Demons. Dark Knight, Batman Begins, or Batman Gotham Knight. Also Batman Begins. And the video game as well, based on the movie written by him, so... He didn't really write the Batman Begins game, but it was based on the movie that he'd written. He also, I guess, wrote some stuff, developer and writer for Blade the series with Sticky Fingers. And I get the 6.5, so, I'll definitely check it out. It's got 12 episodes. One day I do want to see that movie. Or, it's in a DVD pack, but, it's the Blade TV show. I definitely want to see it one day. But... I guess David S. Goyer was a writer on that. And for a second, I thought it said that he directed it as well. I gotta check it back on that. I don't know. Did I say he directed it? It says he's the creator of it. So he was the person behind Blade House of Centurion. Is that what it's called? But it's the Blade TV show. But Blade Trinity... Blade Trinity is the third movie in the Blade trilogy, and the first two movies I love to death. The first two movies are great. I love the movies. They're awesome. Big fan of them. Blade Trinity getting a 5.9 on IMDb. I can honestly agree with that. I mean, this movie doesn't suck. It's not a rant in the title of this video. This movie has some problems, though. This movie is... I think it's okay. I think it's alright. I think it's a fun time waster that, I don't hate all the way, but at the same time, it does have some problems. But it has good things as well. I can say that. This movie does have some good things as well. But it also has some bad things as well. And David S. Goyer, being the director, I don't know if he wrote the script for it as well. But if he did write the script for this movie, I'm going to check up on that real quick. Yeah, writer's David S. Goyer. The script was a big problem in this movie as well. But Blade Trinity, 2004 movie, starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson once again. Also, Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds. And... I think of this movie, it's sort of half and half. I mean, on one hand, you got a good cast of Wesley Snipes being Blade, which isn't his best performance, but there's still a little bit of, some good stuff in there, but it isn't really his best performance. I mean, you got a scene where Blade is holding a baby and he looks down and he goes, Gucci Goo. And he goes, Gucci Goo. Like, I don't know about that scene. There's a good scene though where this guy's like, he's trying to get some information from this guy, and this guy's like, I can't tell you that, they're gonna kill me. He's like, man, I'll kill you. I like that scene. And Ryan Reynolds in the movie did a good job, fun character. Jessica Biel playing Abigail, thought she was a fun character. You know, I like the ideas of Blade working with these vampire hunters where, you know, he thinks they're a joke, but they're actually legit good vampire hunters. This group of vampire hunters that were made by, this group was made by Whistler. And I do think that the character Abigail, yeah, she's related to Whistler. I think it's his daughter, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you got Abigail Whistler. And Chris Christopherson, he's in the movie for a little bit, more towards the beginning of the movie. And I don't know, the story, I don't know. I mean, it could have been really good. It could have been awesome. I mean, you had Drake or Dracula. I believe he is Dracula. But you have Dracula versus Blade. I mean, this could have been a fun idea. Can you imagine if they had a great Dracula in this movie? And this is coming from the guy, I don't mind the Dracula from Van Helsing, the live-action movie. That Dracula I had fun with. Yeah, I said that. That Dracula in that movie was fun. But in this movie, this Dracula is awful. He sucks. The guy who played him did an awful, awful job. Dominic Purcell playing Drake, or Dracula. They call him Drake. It's stupid. It's stupid. He's a horrible actor in this movie. I mean, he doesn't give Dracula any emotion, no intensity, there's nothing menacing about him. There's nothing, you know, there's no intensity to it. He's just boring. And he just looks like he doesn't even care. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm Dracula. No, if you're going to have Dracula in the movie, have a good Dracula. Have the classic Dracula. Have a Dracula that seems like Dracula, not some sort of dude who's just playing a character named Dracula. No, have it be actually Dracula. Have it be somebody who acts like Dracula. Or, anyway, sounds like Dracula. This guy, he tries to sound like Dracula, but he failed. I hate the way he sounds. I hate the way he talks. He's boring. He's awful. He sucked. That was a big problem in this movie was Dracula himself. The guy did a horrible job. The rest of his cast, though, is great. I mean, Wesley Snipes did an okay job. Not as good as, like, Blade and Blade 2, but it's an okay job. Ryan Reynolds did a, decent job. Jessica Biel did a decent job as well. They were fun characters. You have the idea of these vampire hunters formed by Whistler. Alright, that's a fun idea. Blade versus Dracula should have been a fun idea. The idea itself is a fun idea, but the guy who played Dracula did horrible. So I love the idea of Blade versus Dracula. I mean, that's great. That's such a great idea. The one way to stop all vampires around the world, to kill Dracula, to kill the ultimate vampire, Dracula. Blade, the Daywalker versus Dracula. This should have been a fun movie. This should have been a great movie. But it failed because you had some problems along the way. First of all, I hate this movie's soundtrack. In my opinion, this movie's score sucked. Wesley Snipes doesn't really do as good as the first two, but he's okay. I hate the idea that, it's back to vampires. Yeah, it's Dracula, but you have this other background cult of vampires who work for Dracula. You also have Triple H in the movie. Triple H, Paul Levesque as Jarko. Paul Levesque or Triple H. He was fun. I mean, he has these silver vampire teeth. He was fun. He has this little puppy with him. I didn't mind that idea. It was kind of fun. The movie has some decent humor at times. Didn't mind the humor. But besides Triple H, I didn't care for this lead girl of this vampire cult that follows Dracula. The lead girl, I didn't care for her. I didn't care for anybody else in that cult. Just didn't care for him. I didn't care for like these henchmen and stuff like that. But you know, decent. I don't like the idea of the FBI going after Blade and them setting up these fake people to act like vampires and Blade kills innocent people. There's a scene at the beginning of the movie where he thinks he's killing vampires and he actually shoots a human, which is he's wanting to be a vampire, so he has these teeth. And Blade even goes, "You should be a pile of ash right now." And the guy's like, "Fake teeth, a-hole." I didn't like that. I didn't like how the FBI goes after Blade and Chris Christopherson ends up killing himself and sacrificed himself for Blade, and he blows up the entire place, and Blade still gets captured, fights back a little bit, but gets captured. Didn't mind the new equipment in this movie, you know, the boomerang knives that come back, the new sword, this similar looking vest, but it has like a red sleeves on it. Didn't mind that. But Blade gets captured by the FBI and is interviewed by this guy who, I swear, it was John Michael Higgins, Dr. Edgar Vance. He's interviewed by John Michael Higgins. Why is he in this movie? He was also in Yes Man as Nick. He was also in The Ugly Truth, Bad Teacher, Fun with Dick and Jane. I mean, why is he in this movie? He should be in comedies. Why is he in Blade Trinity? That's a big problem in this movie. Why is he in this scene? He's interviewing Blade, puts this drug in Blade's arm that makes him a little woozy, and it's like, you hear him, his voice playing in slow-mo. That whole scene was just awful. You know, he's interviewing Blade, and he's trying to ask him, are you really a vampire? Do you think you're really killing vampires, or are you killing humans? I hated that scene. It was annoying. And it went on and on and on. Just forever and ever. And this guy, they actually found out that he's working with the vampires because he has like a tattoo on his arm or whatever. And that's when Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel break in and get Blade out of there. Get that fun scene where they're shooting people and they're shooting vampires. They break Blade out of there. They bring him back to the base. You have the guy from... He's been in a lot of movies. He also should be in comedies. Why is he in this movie? I mean, I didn't mind him, but why is he in this movie? I'm trying to see who it was. I don't remember. He's from a lot of comedies. I know he's just been in a lot of comedies. If you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's sort of like the guy who handles all the computer stuff. He's in a lot of comedies. He's in this movie for some reason. You got this girl who's blind, but, you know, she also can, you know, look up some stuff and research some stuff. Or not really research stuff, but, like, you know, she's blind, but she still is in the group. Then you got her daughter in the movie. They got her daughter, who's also part of the group. And you got Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. And Blade at first is like, you know, he's like, are you serious? That's just a big joke. You guys aren't legit vampire hunters. And I like how throughout the movie, they showed him that, yeah, they are legit vampire hunters. And also, Blade helps him through the movie. You know, helps them become better at what they do. It helps them improve their hunting and helps them just improve as a team. And throughout the movie, Blade is looking for Dracula, who Dracula just sort of walks around and kills a few people. And, you know, you have a couple scenes where Blade meets up with Dracula, who has a baby in his arms, and he throws the baby, but Blade catches the baby. And you had that scene that I didn't think that was that funny, where he goes, Gucci Goo. And I was like, what? Why did he say Gucci Goo? I don't understand. I mean, it's supposed to be funny, but it just wasn't funny in my opinion. But basically it goes on to where the group of the vampire hunters, they get attacked. Most of them get killed except for Jessica Biel, Blade, and Ryan Reynolds, and the little girl. And there's also, I think, a few other people are alive, but I think most of them got wiped out. Then you got, you know, Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds well, actually, I think Ryan Reynolds gets captured, but you have Jessica Biel and Blade. They get readied up. And I like how Jessica Biel's character, she has this arrow, this bow and arrow that has like these lasers like right here, that when she cuts a vampire, they like turn to ash. and bones and stuff. I really enjoyed that idea. And I enjoy the idea of them getting ready, and she's been training, and she gets the arrows ready, and Blade gets all of his equipment ready, and they go into this big complex and they fight these vampire henchmen. Some decent fight scenes, and then you got Blade versus Dracula. And scene where it's Blade versus Dracula, and Dracula also really bad, where he turns into this like knight thing with like a face that's really messed up. Kind of bad CGI, but he like turns into this like creature, looks like a knight or something like that, with like this really messed up face. And Blade fights it, and then Blade's getting beat up a little bit. And the vampire Dracula actually, you think he kills Blade, and then of course Blade ends up killing Dracula at the end of the movie. But you think that Blade is actually dead. Jessica Biel rescues Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is also fighting. I believe he fights Triple H, and some fun stuff there. And they end up fighting these vampires and winning. And you think that Blade is dead because he's like crashed down here. You think he's dead. And at the end of the movie, you have him come back to life, and he's still alive. So Blade did beat Dracula. Although I thought that Dracula did a little bit too much damage, honestly. I know it's Dracula, but I hate this Dracula. And to see him transform into this giant, like, not really giant, but like this knight thing, this knight vampire thing with a messed up face, I didn't care for that idea. Just did not care for how he, there was just a lot of times where it was Blade getting beat up. I didn't like that. I didn't like this Dracula. I thought it was a pretty lame Dracula. Thought it was a horrible Dracula. And I don't know. The movie I can have fun with because, it is Blade versus Dracula. Even though I hate Dracula in this movie, it still is Blade versus Dracula. It does have some interesting direction, interesting shots, interesting look. It does have some practical effects that I don't mind. It does have some decent scenes that I don't mind. It is a bit fun at times. But still, you have horrible CGI that should have been better. This is 2004. Why is the CGI not better? The first two movies had better CGI than this. This had horrible CGI. So you had some bad CGI. You had a terrible score. I can't remember any songs from the movie. Thought it was horrible. The Dracula, the guy they got to play Dracula, and the way they had Dracula in this movie was just horrible. The script had a lot of problems with it. And it could have been a really good movie. It could have been a great movie to end the trilogy on. It could have been a fantastic movie in trilogy on. Because you had Blade versus vampires, Blade versus mutant vampires. The only way you can upgrade that is have Blade versus freaking Dracula. Blade versus the head vampire, Dracula. It should have been amazing. It should have been awesome. But it was fun for what it was, and I don't mind it. I think it's okay. I don't hate it as much as other people do, but it's definitely disappointing. Watching the first movie, watching the second movie, those being amazing, going to Blade Trinity, it's disappointing, but I feel like it's an okay watch, and it does have some decent features on it as well. But yeah, it's an okay, decent watch. I don't mind it. I think it's a okay, fun time, but it does have some problems. But overall, it is a pretty decent film. I can have fun with the movie. I can have fun with it a little bit. I can still watch it and not hate it. I think it's pretty decent. But yeah, it's definitely the weakest one in the trilogy. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my reviews of the Blade trilogy. All done in one night. I know, I've never done it. I don't think I've ever reviewed a franchise in one night. I think it's always been like one movie per day, or maybe two movies one day and then one movie the next day. But yeah, I've reviewed all three of the Blade movies in one night. Gonna get them all uploaded. And yeah, so thanks for watching my reviews from the Blade movies. They've been fun to revisit and review. And it's been a fun time. The first two movies are great. The third movie I still don't hate. I think it's, I think it's okay. I think it's decent. I think it's still a fun time. But it's not as fun as the first two movies. It's not as good as the first two movies. But it's still a decent, fun time. So yeah, Blade 1 is a classic, my favorite. Blade 2 is a classic sequel, second favorite, but a very close second favorite. Blade Trinity was a decent, fun time. So overall, really enjoy the trilogy. I think it's a fun trilogy, a really great trilogy. And yeah, I'm actually gonna be making a franchise playlist for the Blade franchise. My rule is usually it has to have at least 4 films in the franchise for me to make a playlist of it. But since I'm gonna be reviewing the anime and the TV show a little bit later on, I might as well make the playlist right now. So when I do review those movies or the TV show and the anime, I can add it to my franchise, the Blade franchise playlist. So I'll just create it right now, and then when I review those, I'll just add it to the playlist. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my reviews on the Blade movies. Thanks for watching my review on Blade Trinity. And, yeah, it's been fun. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching my reviews all in one night. I know, it's crazy, right? Three videos in one night. Cover the entire franchise in one night. That's crazy. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my review on Blade Trinity. And the Explorer 4 out. See you guys later.